Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. I hope you enjoy. Story number 1. When the Gods Stopped Singing, written by Hicks Kem. The gods have long watched over our world. Every child knows the comfort and tranquility of falling asleep under the night skies, seeing our many gods twinkling as they pass overhead, crossing the wide star paths in their own unique ways. We know them not to be stars themselves, because the ancients tracked their path and saw how they wove between the lines. As they watched over us for hundreds and thousands of years, a few of our wisest souls sought to know them better. They learned to shape glass to bring the light closer, that we might see the true shape of gods. They shared the gift with the people, and we saw their gleaming wings drinking up sunlight and moonlight and starlight. Sometimes, when the gods saw us seeking them through the curved glass, they would shake their little starlight off at us, in beautiful reds and blues and greens and whites. And for a time, it was good. The years passed, and the wiser souls turned to the shaping of metals into ears, for surely, if the working of glass would allow people to see faces of the gods, surely other workings might let people hear their voices. And so the wisest toiled for years and years, and at long last they learned to listen well. At first they heard only chirps and beeps, as though the gods were calling like the many feathered flyers across the land. And so the people came to treat the flyers with respect, for surely the voices of the gods matched those of the flyers, then the flyers must be revered as well. And still the wisest toiled and searched, seeking ever deeper truths in the gods. And when at last the people had grown and raised children with respect for the flyers and peace in their hearts, did they at long last hear the secret melodies hidden behind the chirps and beats. They listened to the beautiful, powerful, ethereal music of the gods, the songs that played endlessly to any who wished to listen. The people learned to capture this music and repeat it back for each other, and cities rose to the sounds of joyous song. And for a time, it was good. The people learned to create their own music in offering to the gods, and again the wisest one worked and toiled and learned to speak with the voices of the many gods, and sent their songs up to them in gratitude and adoration. The gods, hearing the wonderful songs the people given so freely, took the songs and wove them into their own, and the gods and the people sang together for many glorious years. As the people sang new songs to the gods, so too did the gods sing more songs to the people. And the wisest listened and learned from these new songs, and lifted themselves up from the lands, and explored beneath the black water, and found all the wonders of their world that the gods hinted at. And the people sang new songs of the new wonders, and the gods twinkled with joy in the skies, and sang ever brighter songs for the people. And for a time, it was good, until suddenly, it wasn't. Bright rage burned through the skies from the darkness beyond the gods and struck the people's homes. The rage roared, drowning out the voices of the gods, leaving people alone in the darkness. The rage lashed out at the gods and turned their forms mortal, casting burning, flaming, metallic god flesh down into the world. And the gods stopped singing. No more could the people hear the voices of the gods, nor could they see them in their beds. And with the falling of the gods, the gates of hell opened above, and demons in the service to the rage poured from the blackness of the sky. And the demons sowed such suffering that the people knew the harvest of souls would soon be a great bounty for the demons. The wisest of the people took on the aspects of the bravest of the people, and worked in hidden places where the demons had not yet found them, and they composed one last song to beg for intervention of any god that yet remained to listen. They cast a song upwards into the skies, a mournful, heartbreaking song, part desperate prayer, part requiem. And as the song left the lands, the demons found the last hidden place and destroyed the singing machines, the wisest. Boom. There would never again be a song to the gods, the people. And so the people despaired, bowing to the demons that they might spare the children or elders some small bit of pain. The people cried silently at night at the loss of their gods and of their dignity and of their souls to the rage and its demons from the blackness beyond once home of the lost gods. Then, in the darkest of night, as the demons cackled over the sorrows of the peoples, the gods returned with a mighty and powerful song, and every city and village heard every singing box awaken to the new songs of the vengeful gods. Above, the gods' bodies were larger and brighter and stronger than before, and the gods sent legions of their angels down upon the world to stand among the people. Pillars of holy flame struck the ground and gave way to reveal towering figures holding implements of wrath of many gods. And with these implements, the angels wrapped the god-flesh metal laid waste to the demons, placed themselves between the people and their oppressors, and soaked in the rage of the demons as though it were nothing to them. And the angels, so filled with fury at the demons' treatment of the people, cast aside their implements of wrath and tore at the corrupt flesh with divine and righteous strength. The bravest of the people stepped forward and worked to lift the implement from the dirt, that they might aid these angels. And so, with the people finding their souls restored by the presence of the divine, they joined against the demons, and with the oldest of the god songs rising from every voice, they yet drew breath. Angels and people crushed and broke the demons. When the fighting was done, the angels stripped away the god-flesh coverings and showed their true forms. The people looked at these strange angels with their faces so different, and yet somehow familiar, and sang a song of thanks. The angels, holding up the tiniest of gods close, spoke strange quiet sounds, and the tiny gods sang the words to the people. "We are humans, and you're safe now." And with no more words, the angels put back their god-flesh upon their bodies and rose away on their pillars of flame to hunt demons across the stars. And as they left, the larger, wrath-filled bodies of the gods returned to the joyful, light, singing bodies of the people had loved and lost and finally regained. And the song sang a new song to them, mixed with all their old familiar ones. When you are ready, we will be waiting. End of story. Story number 2. Preventative Maintenance, written by Joe2_0. Would you stop oiling that thing? It's got to be 1,000 cycles old. No amount of oil is going to keep it going, the youngest Volcor among them said, waving its hand at the .50 BMG machine gun that sat foremost in the sandbag emplacement. One of their Terran auxiliaries looked up from his much newer-looking battle rifle. "Excuse me," he said, "but did I just hear you talking shit about Ma?" The Volker looked confused as the grey muzzle around him chuckled. The Terran continued, "I'll have you know that Ma, sweet old Darlene over there, has carried us through thick and thin, so I think you ought to apologize." The young Volker blinked, unsure as to what had just happened. Instead of an apology the Terran had demanded, he replied flatly, "It's a gun." The Terran growled. He had never heard a Terran growl, and it was among the most disconcerting things that he had heard from any of them attached to his company. "She may well be a gun, but she's our gun, goddammit, so you apologize to Ma, or I swear I'll put some sense into your mutt." The young Volker was startled by the Terran's outburst, and he complied, his almost centaur-like form sliding over to the heavy machine gun and muttering a short apology. "Now kiss her cheek," the Terran said, and the Volkor shot him a look to kill, but the Terran just smiled smugly, lacking any of other resource. He pressed his muzzle up against the M2's faded but well-oiled side receiver, where the parkerization was nearly gone, and made a smacking noise. "Hey guys!" The shout caught him off guard as he jumped up. It was their assistant gunner, a Volkor nearly younger than himself. "I found the headspace gauges." He sat on his haunches dumbfounded. It had to be a coincidence, just dumb luck. He looked over at the Terran, who just looked even more smug than before. "Told ya!" End of story. I would quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and Patreons. Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Barky, Lord Azrakal, It's Difficult to Pronounce, Dragzoon WRE, Holly's Sister, Arcadian. Thank you very much.